Now we are going to give the floor to Ana-Luana Stoicea-Deram, who is one of the 3 co-presidents of ICASM, International Coalition for the Abolition of Surrogate Motherhood. She has highlighted that surrogacy is a violence against women and must be eradicated as such. Anna, thank you to be there too.
Thank you all. Well, before I start, just let me tell you how happy I am to speak today alongside with such admirable and courageous and powerful women. Thank you. I would like to share with you some thoughts on the need to educate and raise awareness among women and girls about the risks and of sexual and reproductive exploitation they may face, especially the most vulnerable of them. Our coalition, in partnership with the European Network of Migrant Women.
Excuse me, Anna, can you put your microphone
like
closer
this
to your mouth? Yes, please.
Like this, you can share. Yes. You can.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. So I was saying that our coalition, in partnership with the European Network of Migrant Women, has carried out a study on the link between migration and surrogacy, drawing on our respective networks for the collection of data and information. The main findings confirm and clarify our hypothesis. It is now clear that, first of all, women who are already migrant or internally displaced are recruited to become surrogate mothers. Their situation of migration or displacement has already weakened their social and economic resources, and their administrative or legal situation may be uncertain or difficult, and those are the conditions in which they choose to become surrogate mothers. Second, women are displaced in order to become surrogate mothers. In this case, all the women's references, their resources, their support are moved to those who organize the practice. In Mexico, women are moved to be inseminated in private hospitals in cities near their home, and then again to give birth in states where the practice is recognized, like Tabasco or Sinaloa, so that the commissioning persons can secure the affiliation documents. But Mexican women can also be moved to the United States. For instance, women say they are from Tijuana and have a passport with a tourist visa for the United States. And the displacement of the pregnant woman, of the surrogate mother, is mentioned by the clinics as a product of appeal by surrogacy, which aim to, by those clinics and agencies who aim to attract American clients. Third, pregnant women are lured into trafficking because of the demand of children. They are already pregnant, they are usually poor women, and they are lured into this traffic because of the demand, and the agencies propose those children like surrogacy-born children. Fourth, and moreover, as many clients of surrogacy also buy eggs, Sheila talked about it, many women are also solicited to sell them. For example, in Greece, where surrogacy is legal and allegedly altruistic, which is not true, Georgian women who were already exploited in prostitution were convinced by gynecological doctors to sell eggs. Racist selection of women is very present in Greece, and women know it. According to the appearance, according to the color of the skin, the color of the eyes, according to their height, women are used for selling eggs or for became surrogate mothers. In most of these situations, in Greece, in Mexico, in Ukraine, but also in the United States, if we read spontaneous testimonies of women who became surrogate mothers, women have little information about the risks to their health and to their lives. The surrogacy market and those who profit from it have no interest in producing information for women, but to reassure clients that the end result is a child of their own. In the context of migration and displacement, whether cross-border or not, women see their primary networks weakened. The ties of solidarity and support they may have in their context of origin are missing. Moreover, in this new context, the context of migration and displacement, it is often women who become the main providers of resources for their families. Many women who become surrogate mothers move either from the countryside to the cities or from small towns to the big cities where the high-tech medical facilities are located. Sheila Saravanan research has documented this very well for the case of India. Question then arises as to what information is available to these women, under what conditions do they make their supposedly informed decision to become surrogate mothers. It appears that the idea of becoming a surrogate mother comes after consulting social networks or from watching reality shows, which women watch while they are alone at home, looking after their young children. Advertisements to recruit surrogate mothers are very present in the public space, sometimes on the street, on the social networks, on television. And these expressions in the public space also penetrate women's private space, their personal relationships, their conversation with friends or family members, the domestic space through programs that glamorize and romanticize the practice. So on the one hand, women are encouraged and solicited to become surrogate mothers. And on the other hand, they lack any information about the risks involved or about their rights. In situations of migration or displacement, they are more vulnerable because of the lack of social, family, emotional, and even economic resources that they may have in their context of origin. If the reason for displacement is itself trauma, the violence already suffered, or war, as it was the case in Ukraine since 2014, the vulnerability of women is even greater. The artificial human reproduction industry takes advantage of the inequalities suffered by women and even more so of the vulnerability to which they may be exposed. In none of the countries where the practice is legal is there any collection of data on who became surrogates. Our coalition for these studies has written to most of the states asking them how they care for women. States are not interested in the conditions that motivate these women, nor in the ways in which they are informed, nor in the consequences of surrogacy on their health. States have legalized surrogacy in order to satisfy the market, making women pay a high price. This is why we feel it so important that public authorities at all levels, local, national, international, are alerted to the lack of information for women and girls regarding the risks and harms they run in surrogacy. Risks concerning their physical and psychological health, risks of losing their lives, economic risks, as they often do not receive the money promised to them. Several situations have been identified, for instance, in Mexico, where women who had been victims of violence became surrogate mothers in order to have something to live on, were inseminated with several embryos, suffered miscarriages, and get nothing. We therefore call on the United Nations, and in particular the women's rights bodies, to sensitize, to inform, and to raise awareness among women and girls, especially those living in rural areas, of the risks and harms they run in surrogacy and prostitution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. This study that you talked about is available on our website and also on the website of our partner in this study, who is the European Network of Migrant Women. Another question is, in Canada, surrogacy is perceived as marginal. In Quebec, surrogacy is perceived as something marginal. How to raise consciousness without statistics? Who want to say a word about that?
I think that the main point is to look at it at a practice concerning, first of all, women. We have to talk about what is done to women. Is violence against women is based on violence against women. So we have to analyze, to present, to describe what happens to a woman who became surrogate mother and who receives hormonal treatment, powerful hormonal treatment, who submit herself to the conditions of a contract. So let's look not on the statistical data which are missing, but on the qualitative data, which can be biographical or collected by ethnographic survey, like the ones Sheila made, for instance, but also others.